We are having the presence of dignitaries, and I'll request our Chairman WIRC and CCM, Chairman WIRC CA Saurabh Ajmera and CCM CA Piyush Chatterjee and all the regional council members present over here to mark the beginning of this conference with the lighting of the lamps. I'll request Chairman WIRC to escort the dignitary for the inaugural function, Shri Rajiv Ranjan ji, who is the Managing Director of SBI, along with Central Council member CA Piyush Chatterjee sir, and office bearers of WIRC, CA Rikin Patel, Vice Chairman, and CA Rakesh Shah, Treasurer WIRC. Please welcome with the round of applause to the dignitaries on the dais. Dear friends, the changing landscape of bank branch audits, where the banking sector in India continues to evolve rapidly. Technological changes, regulatory changes, and within those, as an auditor, as statutory branch auditor, we have to keep ourselves updated, we have to keep ourselves focused, we have to keep ourselves very much ready and agile while we are in the bank branch for doing the statutory audit for the year. Because ultimately whatever has happened during the year, you as an auditor are the responsible, finally responsible authority to vouch for the correctness of the financial statements. And that is how, as the chairman of Banking Audit Committee, Bank Branch Committee for WIRC, we have come out with the publication on this bank branch audit, which has been already circulated with all the members. Also, this 2 days conference, we are having a line of program which we believe at council that are going to update all of you with the knowledge required for conduct this particular bank branch audit assignment. With this, to mark the commencement of this particular program, we had the lighting of the lamps, and now I'll request all the members present to stand for the honor of our ICI motto.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामुषो पुरुषो निर्मिमाणः निर्मिमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तदेव शुक्रब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यति कश्चन एतद्वैत 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 एतद्वैत.
Thank you. Please be seated. With this, I'll request our Chairman WRC CA Saurabh Ajmera to present his opening remarks.
Good morning, one and all. Dignitaries on the dais, chief guest of this wonderful program, CA Shri Ravi Ranjan sir, MD of SBI, Central Council member and the Vice Chairman of Professional Development Committee and Chairman of Direct Tax Committee of ICI, CA Piyush Shajetji, Vice Chairman of WRC, CA Rikin Patel, Treasurer of WRC, Rakesh Shahji, and the Chairman of this wonderful committee, Banking Committee at WRC, CA Piyush Chandak. Let's have a big round of applause for all of them for supporting such a great program, curating in a great way. Of the dais, my regional council colleague, Pinky Kedia madam, Jayesh Kalaji, and all other learned speakers and dear participants. It is great pleasure to welcome you in another exciting program of WRC on Statutory Bank Branch Audit. And friends, when we talk about this program, Statutory Bank Branch Audit is just not an assignment. It is the matter of trust and credibility for all. We always strive as a participants, as an executor. And believe me, we are the custodian of this credibility in great banking ecosystem in India, and we have to function in a more efficient way where we can deliver efficiently and purposefully with the expectation of the stakeholders. And I can say that this is one of the area where we all are the leaders from so many years in terms of delivery, and we have to expect some changes in our day-to-day working, like in the changing economic environment, technology. So definitely this is the way to discuss about this topic in which we can inculcate new technology, new regulations, and we can have understanding on the changing environment for this banking ecosystem. And friends, I am very happy to say that this year we have highest participation in this program. We generally had annual affairs of 2 days, statutory bank branch audit, but this time we got more than 300 registration, and that is why I like to have big round of applause for each one of you for your support in such programs which we are organizing to empower our members and to excel our profession. Friends, this year we have come out with so many new initiatives. We have come out with the 6 fundamental principles which we want to highlight for all our members and students. And where we are saying we want to create an impact to each and everyone in a professional upbringing, in a knowledge sharing way. And that is why we are saying let's innovate with new ideas, change our mindset, and achieve more professional excellence, and be adaptable to new things and start collaborating with your professional colleagues, and let's transform with nation building. This is the impact which we want to create through our working in this year. And friends, very important initiative under this impact theme which we have taken is CA Nexus, in which we are inviting the data of all the small firms, proprietorship firms or small partnership firms to have a collaboration with larger firms. And we are very happy to say that we have already received more than 50 firms' data to have a collaboration in terms of partnership with other firms. So my request to each one of you, do promote CA Nexus, which is major initiative of WRC, where we like to fulfill the dream of our country leadership also. When our Honorable Prime Minister says that we want to have more big firms from India, this type of initiative can be a great thing for achieving such a great vision where we can have more big firms from India. And friends, we have also started one more initiative which were earlier also a problem statement. When I was starting my journey in the council, I had so many discussions with the members in industry, members in business, and they generally said that we are the least connected with our ICI. We don't know what institute is doing for all of us, and that is why we have come out with another unique initiative, that is WRC Corporate Setu, in which we are inviting all the members of the industry, all the members, those are in business, to share their perspectives, whatever they want to have from our side as a institute, as alma mater, what we can deliver in a best manner to the industry is need to be taken care in this WRC Corporate Setu, where we are targeting to have a more than 1,000 members footprint in this year. Those are from industry, those are from business. And friends, market on Monday, again we all know that the size of our country is growing very fast, and I can say this is the one area where we can have a great opportunity for in our future career. And that is why we have come out with Market on Monday, where we are discussing about the current opportunity and current scenario of the capital market and financial market in India. Then friends, Sustainable Sunday, as we believe in giving back to society, we should have some impact on social side also. As a chartered accountant, we should believe that whatever social service we can do, that will be great for our individual perspective as well as our institute also. That is why every Sunday we are doing some of the activity which can have an impact on social side, because we believe that 3 P's are really important, but in a different way. That first we have to think about planet, and then people can make sense, and then profit can be an object. Friends, I am very fortunate that I am the 75th chairperson of such a great legacy of WRC, and I am representing largest regional council of ICI this year, representing more than 1.5 lakh members, more than 3 lakh students, and the legacy we have. Let's have a big round of applause for all the past stalwarts for their contribution, be it past chairman, council members, central council members, past presidents, those have contributed for WRC at length. And that is why we all are feeling proud to say that WRC is celebrating this year in terms of Amrit Kal with more new initiative which we will come out by this 1st July, when we will be celebrating the CA Day. And definitely again, this will be a great show in terms of creating an impact. All other initiatives are also available on our website. Please join and participate, because whatever we are doing, it's required a lot of time and energy. And I'm very happy that all my 21 council members are committed day and night to provide some and more impact to our fraternity in a positive way. Let's have a big round of applause for all the council members. Those are really contributing hard. Friends, I want to summarize with 2 lines. As we all are the leader in this banking ecosystem, we are striving for the best professional excellence. That हौसलों से उड़ान होती है, हौसलों से उड़ान होती है, इरादों से पहचान होती है, हौसलों से उड़ान होती है, इरादों से पहचान होती है। नेतृत्व वही करता है जिसकी सोच महान होती है, and we are the part of such a great profession. Thank you so much.
Thank you for this address, Chairman sir. Now we have the presence of the torchbearer of ICAI, one of the torchbearer I can say, Central Council member CA Piyush Chajet sir, and I'll request him to give his word of wisdom.
Thank you so much, Piyush. Very good morning, dignitaries on the dais, the very respected Managing Director of the State Bank of India, Shri Ravi Ranjan ji. Thank you very much for joining us for this event, addressing our members on very important subject today. The very dynamic Chairman of Western India Regional Council, whom you just heard, C.A. Saurabh Ajmera ji. Other Regional Council members on the dais, C.A. Rikin Patel, Vice Chairman, Rakesh Shah, Treasurer, Piyush Chandak, all the faculties and the speakers for the day. Thank you very much for agreeing to address our members and equip them for this very important role of statutory branch audit. Sir, Ranjanji, thank you very much, first of all, for joining us once again. And I do appreciate when the Managing Director of State Bank of India, the bank which we would say is the one of the biggest partner in this national economic development, having a massive infrastructure of more than 23,000 plus branches, and which has reached each and every individual's life in the remotest village. We really appreciate the role of State Bank of India. And as an Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, we are also proud to be part of that journey as an statutory auditors, maybe central statutory auditors, maybe branch auditors, maybe concurrent auditors, or any other audit role which we have been able to play. And I can assure you that our members, our chartered accountants who are playing this role, they will do best of their work, best of their professional duties they will discharge, which will give furthermore trust to this economic development which this nation is looking forward to you. Sir, it's a time when the digitization is happening, and at the Institute, we have taken a very important initiatives to equip our members to effectively discharge the audit functions by adopting all the computer assisted audit tools. So that in this, as you all know, we have a very limited timelines, and a lot of branch auditors do say to complete an audit in the limited timelines. The only way it can be do is with the use of those audit tools, which has been provided, which our members are today equipped with, and it's available with them, and I'm sure they would be looking into that, would be using that, so that appropriate justification to an audit can be done with those timelines. Obviously, for the members, you all know that the guidance note on audit of banks has been just revised. Please do look into it. There are two separate sections. One is very specifically for the statutory branch auditors. I do know the next panel would be discussing the expectations from the statutory branch auditors, which you would be playing in a very important role. So please do look into it. See to it that our guidance note on audit of bank has been religiously followed. Documentation has been done according to that, because suppose tomorrow if you are put to a question in regard to whether you have effectually discharged your duty as an auditor or not, please believe me that this guidance note on audit of banks will serve a purpose, will make a trust where you can actually fall upon and state that this audit procedures have been followed as laid down in this guidance note on audit of banks, and therefore it's very important, sir. Sir, as we all know, of course, I do know that certain branches are covered by statutory branch auditors, and most of banks, apart from around 2 banks are doing more than 80% of advances are covered. I know SBI is also around 75 to 76%. But sir, the branch audit remains a very important link today also when the consolidation of the bank's balance sheet is happening. And it's always our endeavor at the Institute of Chartered Accountants. In fact, we were also mentioning to the Executive Director in our last meeting from Reserve Bank India, Rohit, that how further this percentage can be looked into it. Maybe, of course, there is certain leeway given to the banks, but if the banks can look into it, because ultimately it is the trust which will be coming to the bank's management, to the audit committee, by more and more advances being covered under the statutory branch audit. So that would be a very important areas which I think so should be done. Sir, our auditors has to balance, they are playing and they are answerable to the 5 important regulators, I would say, Reserve Bank of India, one being Then I would say management also at one other place. They also have to balance between the audit committee stakeholders, that is shareholders, and they are also answerable to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. By doing a balancing amongst these five important stakeholders, when it comes to the banks, they are been able to complete their discharge their duty very well. And at the institute level, it has been our endeavor to equip them, to see to it that they are effectively discharging their audit responsibilities to it, sir. Sir, it would be our endeavor from the banking perspective, from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, whatever the banking industry or this financial industry, which we call banking and financial services, in which auditors are playing a very important role, whatever is required to be done, whatever certification, whatever assurance is required to be given to the third party stakeholders, our auditors, our chartered accountants will never go back, and they will do their job very diligently, effectively, with all independence, integrities and ethics. So with this, thank you once again to all the participants. I hope you have 2 days very important learning, and you are able to discharge your functions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Piyush sir. So, as we have dignitaries on the dais, all the office bearers of WIRC, we have another dignitaries present from Regional Council, past Chairman Ketan Sayya sir, then Regional Council Member Pinky Kedia madam, and Jayesh Kala sir, and also the past Chairman of WIRC, Vipul Chokshi sir, present in the auditorium. So kindly have a big round of applause for all of them. Now, we are here to listen from one of the dignitary, as rightly said by Piyush Rajat sir, the leading bank, SBI, and the managing director of this bank, Shri Rajiv Ranjan ji. As we were discussing in the chairman's cabin just now, that he was saying there are a lot of opportunities chartered accountants have, along with lot of responsibilities, as rightly talked by Piyush sir. So, before having him, I'll request our treasurer, Shri Rakesh Shah sir, to introduce him before you, and then we'll have the discourse from this dignitary, Shri Rajiv Ranjan ji. Thank you.
Thank you, Piyush Bhai. So, as Piyush Bhai said, I'm here to introduce this Managing Director of State Bank of India. So, Mr. Ravi Ranjan is the Managing Director of State Bank of India since December 25. Is responsible for risk compliance and state assets resolution group, vertical of the bank. Prior to becoming the MD, he served as a Deputy Managing Director in the global market, managing investment of more than 16.5 trillion rupee. He's also got the opportunity to serve as a Deputy Managing Director for Corporate Accounts and the Group. As a Chief General Manager, he headed SBI Chennai Circle, covering the state of Tamil Nadu as well as Pondicherry. And he also served as a President and Chief Operating Officer at SBI Caps Mumbai. Earlier, he headed the retail network as a GM in Bengaluru. Mr. Ranjan has also done 2 foreign assignments at Hong Kong, looking after debt syndication as well as Los Angeles, California. He is a career banker who joined the bank as a probationary officer in 1991 and serving the SBI for last 35 years in different domain of banking and finance. So join me in welcoming Mr. Ranjan with a huge round of applause. So I request all my council colleagues to join, along with the chairman, to join to present the memento to the SBI Managing Director.
So while addressing, I mentioned sir's name as Rajiv Ranjan. Basically, he is Ravi Ranjan, and Rajiv Ranjan is the director of RBI right now. So I'll request Ravi Ranjan ji to have his words of wisdom with all of the participants, please.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. And thanks a lot, Saurav ji, Piyush ji, Rakesh ji, and the whole Western India Regional Council of ICAI, and all distinguished invitees here. I thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to talking to you. The central topic for today's discussion is, as I have been informed, is which will be discussed during the course of the conference will also be, what are the challenges in conducting of audit with rising complexity? What are the emerging expectations from the branch auditors? And what are the use of technologies that as a statutory auditor you will be having? It's when the keynote address generally it starts with a basically esoteric for a common man, but which is too crucial for the perception of financial stability of India and confidence in governance structure of banks and companies. I take the liberty to set the context through a historical short tour of the subject, which I hope will bring positivity to the discussions that will happen subsequent to my address. As you all know, there are many types of audits that we do in the banks. But the statutory audit of bank branches are mandated by Banking Regulation Act. So it is governed by the circulars of RBI. It deals with correct and consistent application of accounting standards. That is where your focus is. And it is what the objective remains that the banks through their branches are functioning as per the mandate of the law, with accurate reporting of recording of transactions and right reporting. And as you the earlier speakers have also mentioned, the major area of focus is the advances portfolio, where auditors verify loan sanctions, documentation, security creation, insurance coverage, credit appraisal processes, drawing power calculation, verifying of NPAs, and provisioning. In fact, I remember in 2010-11, one of the big airline company accounts that in State Bank of India we used to maintain, there was a big discussion for 1 or 2 days how you are calculating the drawing power. Because the working capital in case of airlines is very limited. How you are going, and it is spread across different airports. How you are calculating, how you are getting the figures, how you are valuing. This type of discussions, and it was all initiated by the statutory auditors, that actually what you are doing, whether you are in a right position to calculate the DPs. And that is where your role becomes so important, that you know whether the calculation of DP is correct, whether the bank is giving the right amount of money, working capital requirement is correctly calculated, and the assessment for the next year is done in a right manner. So it's like an early warning signal for the banks also, what we are doing, and whether we need to tighten it, make it more focused, make it more technology oriented, or make the people at the ground level understand that what you are doing is probably not as per the law. So your role, we have seen over the years how important it is, and when the branches are doing the transactions also, we see that they have to see it from the statutory audit side also. Whether one part is the bank circular, but second is whether you are complying with the RBI guidelines also. This is what we try to make it. Globally, we have seen statutory audit of banks have seen sea change since 2008. So I would say this was a threshold in many respects. Recent studies in accounting show that there was also a statutory audit changes in the United States following 2008 crisis, which were driven by need for increased transparency and better risk assessment. auditors are more responsive to bank risk in the post-crisis period. And they are shifting focus from simple transaction verification to assessing material risks posed by business models and operations. At the same time, there are also studies which note that the main cause of banking instability in the US is due to declining standards of statutory audit. The House of Lords investigating the bank audit future after 2008 noted that auditing business is highly concentrated and lacks competition affecting its quality. I feel the truth is in between these two poles. Invariably, statutory audit lacks rapid changes in banking, which has grown in complexity with new products and technology. I was just talking to Sauravji. Almost 97% of the transactions are now happening outside the branches. But particularly in credit, transactions are mostly happening in the branches, the complex transactions, even though almost all customers have now access to corporate internet banking. So they are doing the transactions, maybe the control at the branch level has come down on a real-time basis, but at the end of the day, you get a lot of MIS and reports through which you are in a position to understand where the funds are moving. In India, auditing is a very respected profession, and it has been recognized since time immemorial. I was just checking a quote from Kautilya, which was given in Arthashastra in 325 BC. It says that a closing day of the accounting year shall be the full moon day of the month of Asad, the year consisting of 354 days, according to the lunar calendar, with separate book for the intercalary month. High officials shall be responsible for rendering the account in full view for their sphere of activity without any contradiction in them, and those who lie or make contradictory statements shall pay the highest level standard penalty. So this is ingrained in our culture, that what we are doing. In fact, I remember if you see the Constitution of India, Article 148 says the office of the CAG is the most important office of the country. So that is why where the focus and the importance that has been given to this profession throughout. Over the past decade, I have seen since say 2014 onwards, RBI statutory audit guidelines have undergone a seismic shift, moving from a system of lenient, bank-driven appointments to a strict, harmonized, and regulated framework aimed at enhancing auditor independence, transparency, and audit quality. The defining moment was the April 2021 circular, which aligned norms across commercial banks, urban cooperative banks, and NBFCs. Statutory auditors can only serve a maximum of 3 years consecutively, followed by a mandatory cooling off period. In case of PSB, they must approach RBI within 1 month of receiving the eligible audit firm list from RBI, which is formulated in consultation with the CNGG. The new circular also revised formats of long form audit reports, and the banks and the branches, we provide the circular dated to September 5, 2020, a lot of changes were made. The statutory auditor should draw attention to the management in the LFAR to any weakness they observe in the bank's internal controls and procedures. The recent Banking Laws Amendment Act of 2025, apart from strengthening governance standards in the banking sector, also touches upon improved audit quality in public sector banks. The new amendment liberalizes the RBI norms for auditor remuneration, and PSBs are now able to attract more qualified professionals and improve audit quality by paying better remuneration to the auditors. This is in line with the RBI's efforts to supplement rule-based regulations with the principle-based regulations, so to give a regulated entity a degree of flexibility in their business decision making. Interestingly, the observations made by House of Lords Committee in the UK is equally valid in India. The Prime Infobase report indicates that global Big Four had a 29% share of audit fee in India on a standalone basis. The EY group led with an audit fee on standalone basis of rupees 172.86 crores, followed by Deloitte Group and KPMG Group. This is in line that what the Honorable Prime Minister has been saying, that the audit firms coming out of India should leap into this Big Four list. A crucial trend that may be highlighted in the recent years, which I hope will be discussed in greater detail, is the trend of mid-term cessation of auditors. Over 39 firms experienced a sudden mid-term departure of their auditors in FY25, including prominent names from the top 500 NSE listed companies. The count of these instances rose in FY25 compared to the prior fiscal year, when 34 similar exits were reported. Experts tracking this metric say that number of such instances is growing every year, and it reflects on the overall corporate governance levels. The factors that lead to such departures midway need a very detailed study, as reasons often cited are vague. The responsibility of this trend lies on both audited entity and auditors, and acceleration of mid-term departures casts question mark on quality of audit itself and relationship between audited entity and the auditor. Probably in this regard, the recent guidelines of NFRA on strengthening the communication between auditors and those charged with the governance, including audit committees, should be seen in line with the requirements of the Companies Act 2013. Let me now shift the focus to some emerging trends statutory audit has seen, such as expected credit loss framework, climate disclosures, and use of technology that can enhance the credibility of the process. As we all know, statutory auditing is an extensively manual process requiring verification of financial documents, a process that was time-consuming and prone to human error. This also entails that discrepancies or fraudulent activities could go unnoticed for extended periods. Then, with the rapid growth of digital products in banking, statutory audit of digital products from the point of view of compliance with law is also statutory now, which is becoming challenging. Just as technology is impacting banking, its application in auditing is also gaining traction. It is suggested that robotic process automation can handle repetitive activities such as data extraction, reconciliation, and report generation in audit. The use of data analytics such as anomaly detection algorithms, which can scan the entire population of audit material, may make auditing less prone to error. Agentic statutory auditing can result in fundamental shift in external audit, moving from manual sampling and reactive rule-based automation to proactive autonomous AI agents that can plan, execute, and document multi-step audit procedures. The upcoming expected credit loss framework for banks presents new challenge for auditors. For provisioning based on ECL, as statutory auditors, one would be required to certify that a bank is computing such provisions accurately. Models employed by the regulated entities are robust. Similarly, with disclosure framework, climate disclosures and other auditors need to critically evaluate disclosure practices and ensure that the same meets the standard of accounting standards and the intent of law and regulations. Let me conclude my address with some concluding remarks. The role of statutory auditors have evolved over the last 20 years, and in India, particularly in the last 10 years. The expectations are that auditor must translate from not just verifying financial statements, but also to holistically assess material risks being posed by the business operations and the business models being pursued by the entity. It is important that auditors maintain strict ethical standards, and the recent practice of mid-term cessation of auditors should not become a recurring event in future. This also positively impacts governance perception within banks and other non-FI entities, they are customers of bank through trade channels. The emerging use of technology has the potential to make audit process more accurate and efficient. At the same time, capability building to efficiently discharge new responsibilities such as assessing ECL and new disclosures is warranted. The role of auditor's judgment becomes increasingly critical in this respect. Auditors must exercise prudent judgment, prioritizing substance over form. I once again thank ICAI for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts. I thank the audience for patiently listening, and I wish you all the success. Thank you.
We had the great insight from the greatest bank of India and from one of the greatest office bearer of SBI again. Before moving to the formal vote of thanks, I'll take this opportunity to announce one of the important thing for all the members who are here. We at WIRC are going to have the bank audit help desk, and the details will be announced within a day or two. So I'll request all of you to kindly stay in touch with WIRC, because we will be having the important and well-known functionaries and maybe one of the CSS also, one or two of the CSS also on this panel to answer the queries live during the designated time period. So I'll thank Chairman WIRC for giving me this opportunity to announce, and I'll request Vice Chairman WIRC C. Yakin Patel to propose the formal vote of thanks, and I also recognize the presence of C. Bishan Shah, Secretary WIRC. Over to you, Rikin Bhai.
It is my privilege to propose a formal vote of thanks for this insightful inaugural session of this banking conference on statutory bank branch audit. At the outset, I express a heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Ravi Ranjan sir, for gracing the occasion. Your presence itself is inspiring, sir, and your address has provided us with a valuable perspective from the banking leadership side. Your insights will certainly help all the professionals present here for align better with the expectations of the banking sector. I would also like to thank our Central Council member Piyush Shajar sir for joining and sharing valuable thoughts. For your guidance and continuous connection to the profession, continue to motivate all of us here. A special thanks to all present here. Your enthusiastic presence reflects commitment to continuous learning and professional excellence. Thank you once again.